Hello viewers, it's your tutor again, CPA Charles Cafe, and today we are going to continue with our other costing systems. We want to look at Kaizen Costing System, and we see what it is, how or what it aims at, and how it operates. So, without wasting more time, let's dive in and see what we can have for Kaizen. Kaizen is a widely used term or is widely used by Japanese organization as a mechanism for reducing and managing costs. So it is used for managing and reducing the costs. It's a Japanese term for making smaller, which means making smaller improvements rather than through large innovations. In other words, we find that we keep making continuous improvement in all aspects of the entity at every level within the company. You find that there is a continued improvement in all aspects or on every level or on every department within the organization. For it, it focuses on the product processes and cost reduction. Yes, it looks at the production processes and the cost reduction, which come through or which leads to increase the efficiency of the production processes. In other words, it focuses on the production processes to see that the costs are going to be reduced, and at the same time, those production processes are going to be efficiently used. So the aim for Kaizen costing is to reduce the cost of components and products by a pre-specified amount. In other words, they target a certain amount that is supposed to be reduced on a product. And they work towards that to make sure that the cost of the components that are going to be making those products are reduced to a predetermined amount. So, with Kaizen costing, what this means is that we want to make small improvements in our processes, especially the production process, so that we can realize or we can have an improved efficiency, and therefore making these small innovations that we keep doing every time than doing those larger innovations. Most of the times we can improve on our production processes so that we can come up with better innovations. And these innovations are going to be done on a small scale. In other words, even if you identify many innovations that are needed to be made on a certain product, you should implement them on a step-by-step basis or on a step-by-step process. In other words, we look at, if at all you have got, maybe you have seen the product lacks, maybe if their phones, maybe they are freezing all the time. If their phones, maybe the storage is not all that good. If their phones, maybe the speed is not all that good, even if you have seen all those that are needed to be improved at once, that are needed to be improved in the product, you don't improve them at once. You improve one by one. In other words, you can produce a phone that is freezing, and at the same time it has a low storage. What you do, you improve the storage and you produce that product. It means the same customers are going to be complaining about the freezing of the phone, because yes, the storage has increased, but the phone is still freezing. And the next thing that will be done, it will be now working on the freezing of the phone, as opposed to the same way of improving all the technicalities that are needed in the phone to operate better. Because if at all the phone was freezing, and at the same time the phone has the speed is not all that good, and even the storage is not all that good, if you improve all of those concepts at once, it will happen that you will not have anything to tell the customers or to offer to your customers, because you will charge them a fixed cost for the phone that has been improved. Yet, you would have charged them if at all you had made, if at all you had identified the three challenges to the phone that are happening to the phone: the storage, the freezing, and maybe the speed of the phone. You can work around and you make sure that at least the speed and the freezing is not there, and you produce that product, but the space is still constant, or you don't change the space, the storage capacity of the phone. If you do that, when you sell this product, it will take, maybe you can take it maybe for 6 months. You produce that phone that is faster, with the speed, the phone is run, meaning the RAM is high, but even the freezing is not there, but the storage is small. So when you sell that for maybe for 6 months, you can now come and bring an upgrade of the phone, which has a very high speed, which is not freezing, and even when the storage has been increased. What that means is that the other product that you produced, which was freezing, it has fetched some money. Even this one, the second one you produced, which was moving faster but are not freezing, but the storage was still poor, it fetched some money. Even next, the final item you got, it was maybe very good for, and it's going to fetch a lot of money. So it keeps the company busy, because we are going to be seeing that the company maybe every 6 months the company is having something to offer to their customers. But if you make all those improvements at once, you will end up not having anything to give to your customers, and it will make you maybe to develop other products that you are going to be providing to them, because you made these products that are going to be of a better quality. So that's a simple logic that Kaizen is trying to bring to the system. One, we said we focus on small innovations. Even if you identify a higher innovation or a larger innovations that can be done, make sure you implement them on a step-by-step basis. Secondly, you make sure that you are also reducing the production processes. You make sure you maximize everything in terms of the resources at the end of the day, but you make sure, and again, you are not increasing the cost, but you are reducing the costs. So what the Kaizen is going to be doing is reducing the production processes. You reduce the costs, and at the end of the day, you make sure that the efficiency of the production process are going to be improved. So, as we have seen, most of those three that we talked about, the tear down analysis, the the value engineering, and the Kaizen, they are all targeted at adding value to the product and at the same time reducing the cost. Most of them, they are talking about reducing the cost. So, you may find that most of the times these costing systems are going to be used at the same time. You find that Kaizen, value analysis, and tear down analysis, they are all used at the same time. Because we've seen that all of these, we are seeing that they are all aiming at adding value to the product and reducing the costs. Just like maybe we can try to look at an example on, let's say, Kaizen costing system. You may see that, as we said, that you may find that the company has identified a bigger innovation. But according to the Kaizen, you keep implementing a few steps from the general innovation, because if you implement the bigger innovation at once, then the company will run out of ideas. Hence, it will not be having anything or something new to give to its customers. And to avoid that, companies decide to do smaller things about the product so that customers can keep getting value from the company. For example, you may find that most of the companies, they may decide to produce a poor quality product so that tomorrow they can try to start improving on the product. But the improvement, they do it on a step by step. They pull out one problem, they solve it, and they produce that product. And on the next thing, they pull out the second problem, they solve it, then they also sell. That's how they are going to keep doing the business. Just like the way you are seeing Tecno. I said Tecno phones. You find that in a phone, they are just only increasing the storage, the RAM, and maybe the speed of the phone. Those are the ones they keep improving. But for it is a bit different, because for them, they update everything at once. If it is storage, they keep on updating everything. They don't use Kaizen, because for Kaizen, if you've seen that the only difference that makes the new model to look different is maybe the storage, the speed, and maybe the battery, the duration it takes for it to lose its power. You find that for Kaizen, you keep working on one item at a time. If it is, you want a phone with a battery that is going to take long to shut down, then they work on that first. But for the other value addition, we've seen that for them, they work on the product. They work on all the challenges within the product so that they can be able to add value to the product. But even in the Kaizen, we are looking at the product we have and we are adding value. But the value we are adding it on a step-by-step basis. That's the only difference. That's why I'm saying you may find some questions where they are going to be mixing some of these, because we said some of these are just going to be theoretical. We don't have any competition in some of them. So you may find one question is having some of these items, they have brought all the costing systems. Maybe they have brought like 4, just like the way we saw target costing with life cycle costing, and we analyzed both of them at once when we did the practical computation. So that's what may happen along the way. So we are going to look at a practical question. That is, our simulation is going to be from November 2019, question 3. That's what we are going to look at in the coming video. We'll be able to see how we can be able to apply all these 3 concepts. We have also a trial number of August 2017, question 1, part B, C, and D. That's a trial number. We can maybe try to look at the simulation. If we finish that, we can see if at all we can do even August 2017. So that's all for the Kaizen costing. Hope everyone has got the concept, because it's those small things that we keep adding there that are going to be making the difference. Because even if they bring a computation number, you look at it and you find that they are bringing maybe a concept from Kaizen. But if at all you have not understood the concept, you can't be able to apply, because there is no any hard thing here is that you need to do. You may find that they may give you they may tell you to use Kaizen, however much it may not be asked. But if you don't know what Kaizen is, you can't actually even interpret the question. But you find that they are the same things you are going to be doing, even if they are told you to use maybe target costing. Because at the end of the day, what we are trying to look at is the cost per unit of a product. So that's all we can look at. Let's meet in the next video and see how we can get the practical approach of these other costs. See you then.